Hi everyone, welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of January 20th through 26th. Okay guys, you know the drill. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the readings for the week. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and comments down below. Oh my gosh, I said I was going to wash this tablecloth, but I lied. I haven't gotten to it yet. Comments down below. Please be kind. That's all I ask. So any comments, anything that resonates with you, anything that doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. I just love to hear feedback of any kind. And I love interacting with you guys. All right. I'm using 3 decks you guys are already familiar with, and I'm not using the 4 that I usually do. I went down to 3. Feels intuitively aligned, as well as this order. So let's just jump right into it. I have some stains on my sweatshirt. Let me actually roll up my sleeves. Guys, I'm a little bit of a mess. All right, let's begin. I don't think there's too much more I can say. All right, what do we need? Building blocks. Awesome. Okay, so it's under need though. All right, so building block is always about creating something new, building something new, starting something new. This is a really great card for entrepreneurs or an entrepreneurial venture. But the fact that's under need is saying that we need to, it's almost like the building blocks to the building blocks. Like it's kind of saying, what do we need to do to start? So it's like the pregame. It's like the prequel. It's kind of like, what do we need to start? So if you want to open your own business and it's a brick and mortar and you need store space, maybe you need all the permits. And so basically the spirit is saying, okay, maybe it's time to start collecting those things. Or even like looking at those things. So it's kind of like the start before the start. And that's, I know that may not be the best way to articulate it, but that's definitely how it feels. It's like the start before the start. So, not too much more I can say here. So get done whatever you need to kind of get done to almost begin what you need to almost begin, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to keep butchering it if I keep going. Okay, action needed. We have bully, but we have in the light. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Okay, so this is good. I know sometimes the archetype cards can be confusing, but this is bully in the light. So you're saying, how could that be a positive thing? That's basically saying that you're not letting people bully you. And you actually might intimidate people as well. So we have 2 things kind of going on here. So you're standing up for yourself. Well, it's under action needed. So it's saying you need to stand up for yourself, okay, this week. So stand up for yourself with something. Grow yourself a pair, as they say in America. And stand up to bullies. Okay, this could also be standing up for other people that are being bullied. But it just feels like we're finally standing up to, whether it's a person, whether it's an organization, whatever it actually is. We're standing up to the bully, technically. This could also fare well for family dynamics as well. So you might be putting down more boundaries with family members that maybe are more controlling or in that bully archetype or something like that. But again, this is under action needed. So this means that we actually have to do it. Okay, this isn't going to naturally happen. Okay, so make sure that you stand up for what's right, stand up for your needs, and stand up against the bully. And I feel like you guys will. Because remember, guys, yes, this is the energies of the week and this is how to work with them, but some of this stuff nothing happens unless you make it happen. Okay, remember we're always creators of our own reality, so we have to actually make this stuff happen sometimes. Okay, issue limitless. Okay, so interesting that it's next to, there's a lot of I don't want to say, why do I want to say that word? That's not the right word. There's a lot of power, I think I want to say. I almost said pride. I don't know why pride kept coming up. Yes, you have pride in who you are, and we're talking about the pride in the light, because we could also have pride in the shadow, right? But we're really feeling powerful, right? Because we're standing up to the bully. We're ready to get things going, ready to start things. But then we have the issue here with limitless. And basically it's saying that we're having issues with our potential. We're having issues with seeing how far we can go. So you need to take the same power that you have with these 2 energies up here and bring it into this feeling of like you're feeling like you're at a glass ceiling, or you're feeling like, how do I say this? You've come to an end to something and you can't go beyond it, right? Where you feel like very blocked off. You feel like you've come to the end of the road and there's no other options, or not just no other options, but you feel powerless in the way of knowing what your potential is. What's an example for this? Because I don't think I'm explaining it the best. Maybe you just got promoted and that's a really great thing, but it's the highest, level that you can get to in your company. And you know what? You're bored already of this. You can't really get promoted. You can't go, there's nowhere else to go. And now you're thinking, okay, maybe I have to go to a different company. Maybe I have to do a different thing. Because I'm bored here. I feel like I'm not living up to my potential here. And this is the highest I can go. So this is what it's saying. So there might be some kind of something coming to a head this week around that. Where you feel physically blocked, but you can also feel emotionally blocked at the same time, if that makes sense. All right, what else are we having issues with? Okay, this is a good example. Milk and honey is really about bittersweet energy, okay? So this could mean that, that's a great example of what I just gave. You got promoted, which is great, but you might still not be living up to your potential. That's a good example of bittersweet energy. The other thing too that is coming through here is about overdoing something, okay? So if it's under challenge, it's basically saying we might go a little overboard. Okay, so we might have issues with that as well, which is not really linked to, our power center or anything like that, but it does feel like we might go overboard with something this week. So, and can it be like, I'm not getting the same feeling as like if it would be like an addiction, or maybe we have a Adonis card in the archetype deck. It doesn't necessarily feel like that. It just feels like we can kind of go overboard with something. So just, try to be a little bit more balanced and see the positive and the negative in situations and that kind of thing. But again, it's under challenge, so you might have issues with all the things I just mentioned. Okay, what's actually going to change? Okay, we have, bear with me guys, prostitute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Okay, and it's in the light. So this is, again, another positive, all right? Because you might be thinking, how is this a positive? This is a positive because you're not sacrificing your worth. You're not sacrificing something that maybe you don't want to be doing. Like you don't have to barter anymore. You don't have to do tit for tat. You are able to pick and choose. Like it's almost like you now have a choice. Like you don't have to sacrifice so much anymore. So what is an example for this? You are short on money and you're grocery shopping, and every time you grocery shop you have to buy this not so great generic brand of a certain food that you like, and your kids hate it and it doesn't taste as good and it's not as flavorful, but it's cheap, right? And so you kind of have to do that because money's tight. Fast forward to this week, this energy that it's talking about, it's saying, now you have a little extra pocket change. Now you can actually get the name brand of what you're actually looking for. Now it tastes good, your kids are happy, etc. Small change, small example, but this is what it's saying. It's saying that we're moving into a place where we feel like we have more choices and we don't have to sacrifice as much as usual, okay? In my opinion, talking about the healing journey, it feels like we're going from surviving to thriving. That's kind of the feeling, because if you look at the example I just said about having to buy like the low level, say it's mac and cheese brand, right? And the cheese is really disgusting. It's made of all these chemicals and, but it's really cheap and that's the best thing you can do to, feed your family. And now you get to buy, with organic ingredients and like things like that. So you were surviving because that's all you had to, you had a certain amount of budget for the week for the grocery bill. And now you're thriving because you're making maybe a little bit more money, and now you can actually buy more organic and healthy foods for your family and ones that taste better. I think you guys understand what I'm saying here, but it's a really positive thing, let me tell you. The energy feels really good on that one. So we're no longer sacrificing our health, our taste, flavor, that kind of thing. So I like that, and the fact that it's changing is magnificent. So Really great. Okay, what do we need to focus on? Vows. Okay, so these are promises or things that we promised to do or vowed to do. So this is basically saying just focus on not breaking promises. Stay true to your word, basically, is another way to say it as well. Look, crap happens, especially with, I'm throwing myself in there as an example, chronic illness. I literally cannot plan ahead. I still can't. Because I don't know if I'm going to feel good that day. I can't, like, there's a lot of stuff I can't commit to. This is basically saying, like, you can commit a little bit more, but when you commit, make sure you actually follow through. And then this is also saying, do the best you can with anything that you already committed to and follow through on them. Okay, use your own intuition with this, but basically this is saying, make sure you do focus on your follow throughs. Make sure you do commit. Okay, make sure you do, and if you can't, make sure you're telling people in advance, and make sure you actually aren't committing to things that you can't necessarily commit to. But this is telling me kind of the opposite. It's kind of saying, like, you can actually maybe start committing to things. So focus on what you can commit to. Maybe put something on the calendar. Maybe that's what that's saying too. But there definitely does feel like there's more commitment here and definitely more follow through. And basically saying, do the best you can with whatever you do have on the calendar already. All right, reflect. Let's see, clean it up. Okay, this is basically saying clean up the mess, unfinished business, like that kind of thing. So reflecting on unfinished business, things you need to kind of close up with, what you need to finish, what you need to, I don't want to say what you need to end, but don't forget, guys, we're still in the first month. By the way, crazy first month, right? There is so many things that, and I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of unpleasant things that are happening this first month. And it's not the greatest, I live in New York City, there was a thunderstorm and lightning storm, thunder and lightning, New Year's Eve. All I kept thinking about was the people in Times Square, sitting there in their diapers, and now on top of not only that uncomfortableness, they also had to get rained on and possibly killed by lightning, struck by lightning. And it's just kind of like, oh, is that a bad omen or what? And I don't know, it's a little bit of foreshadowing for these next few weeks. I'm still hopeful about what the year represents. The year represents, it's 2025. That is a 9 numerology year. It is a 9 universal year. That is endings. That is humanitarian work. This is us coming together. This is forgiveness. It represents all of those things. So it's not shocking. I would not be shocked if we got this card in almost every reading or something similar to it, because this is the year that we're supposed to let things go, okay? And things are ending. And some are going to be really hard to let go, and some of them are going to be welcomed. But this basically says, maybe that's a good thing to reflect on. It's like, what do you want to let go of? The good, the bad, the ugly, okay? And so what can you start doing to start wrapping this particular thing up, okay? And that's a good reflection question there. Okay, responsibilities. We have slave. Okay, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Okay, so this is if you're making your own choices. Okay, so this is about, so your responsibilities are to you, basically is what it's saying. It's like your responsibilities aren't to another organization. Your responsibilities aren't to, what you're contracted to. I know that that word's like a little tricky, because if you're an actual contract, if you have an actual contract with something and you have to, follow through on it, I probably advise you to do so, because maybe you'll have legal repercussions from it. But this is basically saying you're free, right? Because it's in the light. So all of these are coming in the light, and I know they're like kind of controversial archetypes so far. But this is basically saying it's kind of actually more aligned with the prostitute, because it's like saying that you do have a choice now. Like you have you have more power. You have more power to choose. You have more power to choose how you spend your time, your money, and your resources, etc., etc. So you're not necessarily chained to something else. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's next to money, finances, and career. So what I'm gonna say about this is, Obviously, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. You must use your own intuition when you're hearing these readings. However, I do want to say this almost feels like it's very much connected to work, in the way of that maybe we feel like we're being overworked, or we're being controlled, or we are we don't have as much freedom or liberation as we want, right? And our responsibilities are to make sure that we do tap into that, make sure that we do try to find the liberation that we need, or the freedom. So maybe you have a really horrible working situation where they told you, you can't take off for that doctor's appointment on Friday, and you know what? You decide to take off for that doctor appointment on Friday. You say, you know what? I need to be free to make my own choices, to schedule my own doctor's appointments, and I'm going anyway, okay? Yes, you're defying the organization, your job. Again, do at your own, knowing the consequences. And again, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. But definitely do listen to that, because I have a feeling our inner voice is going to pull us in that direction. And we're like, it's almost like our soul. Guys, remember, I read from like a soul level. So our soul is wanting freedom and liberation, okay? And what is your intuition? Your intuition is the voice of the soul. So put that together, interpret it as you will, but that's what's kind of coming out here. So your responsibility is to give in to that liberation and that freedom that's pulling you. All right, what do we got going on here with money, finances, and career? We have sacrifice. Okay, I don't love this, especially with the prostitute and the slave. So, this feels like we are sacrificing something, okay? It could come together with the slave, though, in the way that I actually just mentioned, the example that I gave, because it's basically saying that we're sacrificing too much. So we might be sacrificing overworking for the paycheck. We might be sacrificing our potential, right? Remember the limitless card, for a job that just pays the bills. All of that is fine. I totally understand survival, survival mode, if you need the money, whatever. But this is basically saying that we are feeling like we are sacrificing something. Actually, now it does make sense, because this is bringing us to the brink. And that is why the prostitute and the slave are coming up this way, because it's our responsibility to feel more liberated and more free in our choices. Because money, finances, and career, it doesn't feel that way. But the fact that, don't forget, change, honestly, I don't think I've ever said this before. I feel like the change is the most important card in the deck, in this whole spread. Not the deck, the spread. Because it's basically saying what is really going to change here. Okay, and that's what is going to change. So if you still feel like you're sacrificing money, finances, and work stuff, know that it's going to change. At least you're going to start feeling that energy through this week. So yeah, I feel you guys, because freedom is definitely one of my virtues. So I totally get it. So you're definitely feeling like, I definitely do feel like you're going to break free from whatever makes you feel like you're sacrificing something with work, money, and finances. Can I give another example here? Maybe I can, with money. Let me think. I mean, maybe I could give an example from my own life, which I am getting better and better and better, and I'm very limited because I'm actually partially disabled in what I actually can do to bring in money. So seeing this is really positive for me, because basically it's saying, I have to do what I can to make sure all my bare minimum of my bills are being paid, and I can't really go beyond that. I'm not thinking about making more money. I'm thinking about, as long as my bills are paid, I'm fine. But I'm sacrificing it because I want to do more. I want to make more money. I want to actually do what I enjoy, and make money from it, and make impact, make money. So it feels like I am sacrificing. I feel like I sacrificed the last 3.5 years, of my life, and it sucks. And, seeing this, it feels like, and it feels like in a way I'm like that's what I have to do right now. I don't have many choices. I don't have any choices. This is my choice. And, this is just what has to be done to get my bills paid. And so the fact that it might be opening up soon is really, really amazing and positive news. So that's my example. Hopefully it resonates. Okay, surprise. Thinker. Okay, so this is about thinking more clearly, using more logic, it is a surprise because I've been just talking about intuition, but yes, you can use your intuition and your logic at the same time. I do it all the time. But this is basically saying it's under surprise, so it might kind of come out of the blue. So maybe in a situation where you're used to maybe not researching as much and just making a quick decision off your intuition, which again, nothing is wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either of them. Trust me, guys, you want your brain. I tell you. I know intuition is king, but thinker is up there. Logic is up there because, oh my God, I have felt so dumb. I have felt so unintelligent for many, many, many years at this point, many months. And let me tell you, being intelligent is a good thing. Using your logic is a good thing. I would do anything to be able to get back to a place where I feel like I'm at my most intelligent. So please, guys, use your thinker, use your noggin, okay, when you can. So if you find yourself making a decision off of logic, that's totally fine, okay? And it might come out of a surprise because it actually might be, you're more of the opposite some of the time, where you're making a split-second decision based on intuition or how it feels. And again, not wrong. I actually teach from that angle, but maybe use your noggin is what Spirit is saying here. Okay, friends. Oh, we have something upside down. Companion. Pretty sure we've gotten this with friends before. Betrayal by misusing confidence is loss of personal identity. Okay. Okay, so you hear the birds? How cute. Not great. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So far, everything's been pretty great. Not great here with companion. So I definitely do feel like there might be some betrayal in our friend groups. And the fact that it's companion is basically saying with someone close to us. So I don't even want to sugarcoat this for you guys. Again, this is a reading for the collective, so it may not be for everybody, but just some of you guys might experience a betrayal of some kind. So sorry in advance is what I'll say. Okay, romantic connection, dynamicism. Oh, I said that right. So your uniqueness, what makes you special, what makes you stand out. And so this is romantic connection. So this is actually a really good card for anybody dating. This is a good week to date because the things that you think are quirky or unique will stand out to other people. And then you might actually find that attractive in other people as well. This could also mean for people that are actually partnered, the things that your partner is dynamic with or unique with will be a positive attribute to the relationship. This is especially good for people that are partnered and maybe find the quirks and the things, little annoyances with their partners could actually turn around and be more of a positive thing this week, because I definitely do get positivity here coming from this romantic connection. Which is good compared to the friends, right? It's actually complete opposite here. Okay, important. Peace. Okay, it's important to find your peace. When is it not? But what a good reminder. There's not actually too much I can say here, but, it's important to find your peace if there's anything chaotic, which honestly, here with the friends. So there might be some chaotic energy going on here. It's important to find your peace. So if you step away from a friend and set boundaries, right? We had some boundary talk up there, and find some peace within ourselves. Might be going into nature, hanging out with your family. Well, some of us, our family is not our peaceful place, but wherever you can find peace within yourself, physical location in your environment, go for it. But it's important that you really find that inner foundation when shit hits the fan, basically, and it might have something to do with this here. Okay. All right, health and wellness. We have eternal child, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Okay, so this is basically like looking at things in a childlike way, looking at things with fresh eyes, but there's also a playfulness energy that comes out through here. This is in the light, so it's positive. So we might be feeling a little bit more playful, a little bit more, I love that, the word vitality is coming through, but I thought it actually said vitality in here, but it didn't. But that's what's coming through. Vitality, so it's basically saying like feeling young, feeling fresh, feeling playful, which is really great, health and wellness. I never talk about this, and I'm not a doctor, clearly, and I make that very, very clear. And again, I feel like I need to say this is for entertainment purposes only. You guys are responsible for your own decisions. I don't think I've ever said this in a reading, but I'm just going to say it. It's very random, but I'm going to say it. If you are doing some kind of plastic surgery, touch-ups, fresh-ups, lip injections, it actually fares really well this week. I will say that. Again, I usually do not get any medical information. I am not a doctor, and I don't think I've ever talked about plastic surgery in a reading before. But if you're getting something like that, this is a really good week for it. And if you're thinking about it, this fares well positively. So just throwing that out there. Make your own decisions, people. There's some kind of youthful energy in health and wellness, and that is really positive. Maybe you get back to the gym and you feel like, you're young again. You feel more, feel more energy, feel more vitality. You have a breakthrough in therapy, you feel more energy, you feel more vitality, whatever it actually is. So this is really good. I like this one a lot. All right, and then we have overall outcome. Compassion. Okay. All right, so having compassion for people, having self-compassion as well. Compassion is different from empathy, in my opinion. It's more about understanding where people are coming from. I think it's actually more close to grace than it is close to empathy. So having grace for people doesn't mean that we're, giving them, excuses. No, we're not letting people walk all over us and, that kind of thing. It just means really understanding where people are coming from and giving them grace. There's not too much more I can say about that, but it's ending with that. So I wonder if it has something to do with this companion slot right here. I'm wondering, as far as like self-compassion goes, definitely with all the issues and challenges that we're having, always have self-compassion. And especially like, I think this is really interesting, this spread right here, these 3 cards, because it really is symbolizing that we really don't feel as liberated or as free as we want to feel. And yes, work could be part of it, but could also be other things. But maybe compassion, especially, definitely self-compassion will help us here, because look, you're in survival mode. All right. The example I gave about, having to eat the food that's not as flavorful, nutritious, delicious, or as healthy for you is not something you should shame yourself about. You should have compassion for yourself, because you're in survival mode. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just the period of time that you're in. It's almost like the perfect storm. You're doing the best that you can, and that's that. And that's what this energy is really about. It's like, you've done the best you can. You're doing the best you can. You're almost out of it, okay? But you're doing the best you can. It's important to have self-compassion. So yeah, it definitely applies up here for sure. And then outward compassion could have something to do with this corner here with the companion. Okay, guys. I like this. The week is going to start. I definitely love this energy up here, because it started off like feeling very, very powerful. Things might happen during the week that maybe make you feel not so powerful, make you feel like a little bit like, again, these energies here, but it's changing. Okay. I'm telling you guys, it's changing. Prostitute says it's changing. But we're definitely emerging, a more powerful, more, compassionate, more grounded self, as we're still in the beginning of the year, but judging from this, I'm confident it'll get better and better. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.